from mediocre ones is self-belief. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to run with it because I know that changes everything. That puts perspective in everything. And that means that for you to be a champion, you need to believe in yourself. Please, can we put our hands together for him? That was just amazing, guys. Amazing. Very packed. Thank you, sir. Very, very packed. One thing I also took away from this, it says, we are the future of Nigeria. We are the future of wherever we're from, wherever part of the world, we are the future. We can make that difference. We can make that change. If we don't believe in ourselves, then we can't achieve anything. We need to dream bigger. Let our dreams scare us. Let our goals be impossible and let us forge to get there. So thank you so much, Prince Mustafa, for that impeccable, amazing, power-packed present skill and presentation that you've given us today on what it is to be an entrepreneur, what it is to be a leader. I've learned so much today. And in fact, when I'm going to say, I've learned on this soft skills training edition 11, I learned how to be a leader. I learned that true success comes from leading. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so I appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you. I truly appreciate that. I truly appreciate it.
Amazing. Please, guys, do we have
I
any
look forward to
questions?
more of this.
Amazing, sir. So we're just going to take some questions now, and then obviously if you can help us answer a few of them, we'll really appreciate it. So please, guys, can I get some questions? And if we don't have any questions as well, we can move on. I'm just going to give 2 minutes for that, please. Okay, so I have a question for you, sir. So please, if you can indulge us. So I think someone's asking if you can tell us a little bit about your inspiration as to why you wanted to do what you do currently. So please, if you can indulge us a little bit.
Thank you. That's a very interesting question. And so I'll give you a little brief before I get into the story itself. When I was younger in secondary school, I used to sketch cars. And, I used to say I want to be a car maker, and I'll not lie, they used to laugh at me. There was a I know you guys know what a Lamborghini is. It's like a high-end sports car. So I used to really love the Lamborghini Diablo then, so I called my own Lamborghini Fafamblo, just a silly little name. And they used to laugh at me in school. Then last year, a friend of mine, a classmate of mine that were in secondary school together, were in boarding school together, I ran into him and he was with his daughter. His daughter is about 10 years old. And he was telling his daughter that, listen, this is an example of what self-belief is. We used to laugh at him when he said he wanted to make cars. Sorry? Hello. Can I go on? Can I continue?
Yes, please, you can go.
Okay. Okay, perfect. No worries, no worries. So basically, what inspired me was I had a passion for cars. I had a passion for what I wanted to do. I have a technology background. Along the way, before I got into this, I did many things. I did real estate. I'm still doing real estate now. I'm what you call a serial entrepreneur. I've started many, many, many businesses. I had a cleaning business, and I'll tell you how I started the cleaning business. I was reading an article one day and I saw a multi-billion-dollar window cleaning industry in New York. And I was thinking, a year, they make billions of dollars a year on just cleaning windows in New York. And then when I finished reading the article, I looked around. I saw Zenith Bank, I saw other banks, all dirty. everything dirty. So I noticed that, in Nigeria here, we don't wash the buildings. So I sold my car. I sold my car for 1 million naira. I used 300,000 to start a cleaning business. I used 300,000 to buy a piece of property and
Hi.
300,000 for running around. And the cleaning business that I started with 300,000, I made almost 100 million naira from it because I had differentiated myself. I had bought the right equipment, window cleaning equipment, water fed poles, which are those long poles that go up in the building and you connect a pipe to it and it releases water at the top and use it to wash. So I had studied the industry and decided this cleaning business would be different because I noticed everyone just did post construction cleaning, meaning when you finish building, these cleaners come and they shine the place. That was the kind of cleaning that was available, but there was nothing else. So, this is a typical example of what you can do. Now, for me, for the electric vehicles, for the EVs, most people kept on. I at one point had started developing batteries and gone into the power sector. But as we were developing batteries, people kept on asking, what do you do with the batteries if not inverter? So we made them to understand that you can use the batteries for cars, you can use it for boats, planes, drones, all sorts. So rather than explaining, I decided I have a passion for vehicles, electric vehicles, and I'm already making batteries. Why don't I start designing my own EVs? And at that point, COVID happened. So the world shut down. So it gave me about a year to begin to design, to sketch. I'm not good at drawing, but I have an idea of what I want. So I got an engineer online, I got a designer online. And for the next year, we began to design vehicles, design tricycles, bikes. And once I was done, I needed them built. I first went and got my license. I got all the documentation I needed in place. And then I went around to find someone who could build it. I found some people in China, and that was the first version of our vehicle. I made 11. I couldn't sell, I sold maybe only three. I had to give the remaining eight away as gift just to get people into EVs. This was in 2021 now. So it's 4 years ago. And, people just thought it will never happen. But I continued consistently. We found challenges. But at the end of every challenge, I believe that just around the corner, we would turn the bend. It took us an extra 2+ years. It's until so in 2020, zero sales. 2021, three cars. 2022, about five cars. 2023, from the five cars, we jumped to almost 300 vehicles. By 2024, we're done over 1,000. This year, we've more than doubled that figure. And our target by next year is to reach sale of 10,000 vehicles, starting from only three vehicles, zero vehicle sales, to now pushing towards 10,000. And we get beyond that, the next target will be 50,000 to 100,000 to grow that way. So this shows that consistency, self-belief, and hard work. Nothing beats hard work. And what is hard work? People say work hard, work hard. Hard work is very simple. You do something, you go to bed, you wake up, you do it again. That's all. You just repeat. If you spend 3 hours today on something, 4 hours, 5 hours tomorrow, 5 hours, like that consistently over 1 month, 5 months, 1 year, then you begin to build a long path towards your goal. So that's all. There is no shortcut to success. Anybody that you see that today they are nothing in the morning, by the afternoon they are something. In the evening, you see they'll return to nothing. There's no substitute for hard work and consistency. Some people can win the lottery, but those who win the lottery would lose that money almost instantaneously because easy come, easy go. So it's very simple. So that's foundation behind why we decided to go into EVs and why we have remained consistent and why we are sure that we will beat not just Tesla, but BYD and the rest of them. Within the next 5 to 10 years, EMVC will be the largest e-mobility company in the world. That is our target, and we know we would achieve it. Fact. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mustafa, for that loaded answer. Thank you so much for highlighting consistency as a very important way in terms of kind of scaling your business globally. I think that makes so much sense. I think that is very packed. Generally, even from your experience, having sold 0 to 2 vehicles, and then pushing vehicles in the thousands now. So I'm really it's such a remarkable journey. So thank you so much for that. And thank you for sharing that. I'm sure that not just myself, other people, and the person who asked that question has also learned so much from that. So thank you so much again, sir. Um, I have another question for you that goes, how do you stay consistent in the Nigerian business environment? So as you said yourself, it's very tricky because people aren't necessarily in the EV mindset. So how do you, I say the word is overcome that obstruction, especially as someone that wants to push his product in the market?
That is an excellent question. And it doesn't revolve around EVs alone. It revolves around the entire business environment in Nigeria. Unfortunately, things are more difficult than they should be. In any aspect, we deal with a lot of shipping, clearing, customs, materials moving. So there's tremendous amount of challenges that we face. In addition to it, you have staff that really don't believe in what you're doing. Some of them are just there because they want salary, while others are there to push your dream. You will find a whole mix of people. That's the truth. But again, the answer would always be simple. It comes from within. You're going to face challenges. The difference is those who give up and those who continue. Like they say, when the times are tough, the tough gets going. So that's what I want you to put at the back of your mind. There's nothing easy in life. There's nothing at all easy, you know? And then you enjoy things more if it's a hard fought victory. Things are better. If you watch a football match and it's just 2-0, yes, you'd enjoy it. But if you watch a football match and it's 4-3 or 5-4, it's more entertaining because everybody's struggling on both sides. Everybody's struggling to make it a success. And that's life. Struggle to make what you're doing successful. That's all. You're going to face challenges. You're going to have people that are not interested in what you're doing. You're going to have specifically to break you. You're going to have people that are jealous and envious. Those who you think are your friends or family would be looking at you from the corner of their eyes because they think, where do you think you're going? Don't let any of that hold you back. That is only fuel to your fire. Adversity should encourage you. When people say it can be done, that should encourage you. Sometimes you go home at night and you think, what's it all for? What's it all about? But that's part of the journey. You wake up the next morning, reinvigorate yourself, however you do it. As they say, ginger yourself. However you want to put that ginger, buckle your shoes, and get to work. And if you look at it over the years, you cannot measure success in terms of weeks, months, or days. Success is measured over a yearly period. You can look at, hey, how were you last year and how were you this year? How were you 3 years ago and how are you now? And how do you envision yourself in another 2, 3 years? That is what you can use to measure yourself in terms of achieving goals. So don't let anybody put you down, even yourself. Don't let yourself be down for too long. It's normal to feel down. There's nothing wrong with that, but you must pick yourself up. That is the critical thing. Dust yourself and keep going, for your success is just around the corner. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mustafa. Thank you so much. And I like that you said ginger. There's this movie, this new Nigerian movie that just came out, Ginger. And I think that's a highlight. You need to have that ginger within yourselves. So I think that's very important. You need to ginger yourself to be able to achieve those goals. And I think just one more question. I think this is from Kuje in Abuja. So they ask, what if you have this great belief, but you have no investors? How do you navigate that?
Sorry, let me unmute. I love that question. Most people think that money is the critical ingredient for success. Money is not the critical ingredient for success. Everybody that has started in terms of entrepreneurship, that has started a business, started with zero. Bill Gates, Amazon, that's Bill Gates with Microsoft stayed in his garage. If you take a look at Amazon, his picture in 1999, only him in his office with just documents, piles of documents, working with self-belief. Same as Alibaba. If you look at the Alibaba video, you see him from many years ago saying that what will make Alibaba different from others is efficiency. The Chinese are extremely efficient, so they are going to use Chinese efficiency to dominate the world and dominate the market. It's always like that. No one starts with, I didn't start with any money. I didn't start with any, even the designer I got. You have to be creative. There's a website called People Per Hour. People Per Hour designs things. There's Fiverr. So it's like freelance architects, engineers, all sorts of people go there. I went to People Per Hour for my first design. It cost me about $40. How much is $40? The currency is a bit bad now, but $40 was like 20K, 30K, something like that. So it didn't really less than, in fact, far less than, because $100 used to be just 20K. Just a little while ago, so yeah, so $40 was about, 30,000 naira, less than, because I think the rate as at that stage was about 500, 400 and something naira to the dollar, as opposed to now where it's 1,500, 400 or whatever it is. So money is not the critical ingredient. You need money. We all need money. We need money to grow. And as your business scales, as you grow, as you build the business, you will find people. When I started the EV business, nobody believed in it. Then I was sitting down one day and talking to someone who is currently a shareholder. And I was just talking to him about this dream I had. And at the end of the day, he was like, listen, wow, I truly believe in what you're doing. You've spoken so passionately about it. I don't really have a lot of money. I have $4,000 in my account, $5,000 in my account. Because I believe in you, I'm going to give you $4,000. I was like, wow, for that statement, I will give you 10%. Today, we've had offers for more than $1 million for 5%, and I have rejected it, repeatedly rejected it, because I know the value of the company would be in billions. By the time it's worth billions of dollars, then I'll be ready to sell part of the shares. That's it. So we didn't need money to start. You don't need money to start. You need to know what you want, what you're passionate about, because sometimes there'll be money, sometimes there'll be no money. If you need money to start and money to operate, what happens when there's no money? It means the business will fail. So you already have the critical element in the business. The most important factor is you. Once you're there and you believe, the rest will happen at the time it is meant to happen, not before. So I think that those who think they need a lot of money or even money to start businesses, the truth is you don't need, but money will come along the way. As you're working, as you're on your way to your destiny, you would meet the right people to come to help you achieve. That's it. Today, I went to Igbinidion Education Center. Igbinidion is in Benin City. And today I employ more than 10 of my classmates. I'm the biggest employer of the people who went to my school. And these are my classmates. The ones below my set, like, I've employed a number of them. and that just tells you something. It's the size of your dream that will make you accomplish your goal. That's all, not the size of your wallet. All right. Thank you very much. I hope that makes sense.
Thank you so much, Mustafa. And I think just someone just asked a little question here. How many countries is your company operating?
Currently, we're in 4 countries right now. We are operating in Nigeria, of course. We just recently entered Egypt. We've been in Abidjan, and we've just opened an office in Dubai. We opened the office in Dubai in August, yeah. In August, we opened an office in Dubai. So we're in 4 countries now, and all 4 countries this year. We've entered them. Well, Abidjan, Ivory Coast was last year, and now this year. So we're selling vehicles to a number of places. So we opened Egypt and Dubai are the most recent ones over the summer, and we're making sales, gradual sales, but we are competitive, which is the most important thing. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, guys. And please, can we just put everything we've learned on the group session, the chat session? And I just have to say something that struck me. It is the size of your dream and not your wallet. Can you take that as a good, great feedback? And I think that's really impeccably said. So thank you so much, Mustafa, for that. So I'm just going to read a bit of what people have learned from the chat section. True success comes from within. We've said that earlier. Um, we have someone that also says success starts from self-belief again. Hard work is working consistently every day with focus. And I love how people are taking these bits, these snippets from what has been said. So thank you again, Mustafa. Having self-belief and looking inwards to spot what you're passionate about. I think that is wonderfully said. And if you just even joined us, you can take this little snippets of what has been said earlier. And I think these are transformational quotes and transformational things that have been said that really sets you apart from your peers and puts you on a path to success. So thank you so much again. Um, Success should be measured yearly. Money is not success. Again, finally put. Can I get people from the viewing center to tell us a little bit more about what they've learned, even if I have one or two people um, from CKL and MEK Viewing Center? If you can unmute your microphone and just give us a little snippet of what you've learned today, I would really appreciate that. Hard work is doing the same thing every day consistently. Thank you so much again. Can I get anyone from CKL and MEK Viewing Center, please? All right, I don't think I have anybody. So thank you again once more. Please, can we just thank Prince Mustafa Audu on the chat section? Can we give him a round of applause for delivering an amazing session? I have learned so much, and I hope you all have learned so much. So please, you can follow him on LinkedIn, you can follow him on Instagram or any social media that he's on, so you can learn more about what he does. You can learn more about his journey as an entrepreneur, and you can be most especially inspired because I'm inspired. Um, so thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure being here. I have to go now. I have some meetings coming up at the conference. But please reach out. My Instagram page is official Mona Audu at official Mona Audu. For the EVs, it's electric motor vehicle at electric motor vehicle. That's for Instagram. And of course on LinkedIn is Prince Mustafa Audu. So you can follow me on any social media platform. And together with Kaiser Foundation, we try and be part of more of these events that are coming up. Thank you so much. God bless all of you. I wish you
Thank
guys
you so
tremendous
much.
success. I want you guys to make all the money in the world, but not just money. I want guys to make great impact in the world, leave footprints that your children and your grandchildren will be very proud of. Thank you. God bless. Bye.
Thank you so much, Prince. Thank you so much, guys. And I think we have our next speaker here. I'm just going to introduce our speaker shortly. Just one second. I hope we really loved that session. That was really powerful, packed. And I'm really, really, really excited for the next session. I learned so much, and I hope you did as well. And the next speaker we have in the house is Dr. Tope Mark Odige, sorry, I think that's Odige. She is a seasoned entrepreneur and media personality whose work across real estate leadership and women's empowerment has equipped thousands to communicate strategically, influence effectively, and negotiate with value and confidence. She's the founder of REB 360 and Wire Africa, and she delivers practical frameworks that turns dialogue into growth, equity, and sustainable impact. Please, can we put a round of applause for Dr. Tope, Mark? And let's just hear her talk about negotiation in everyday life. Thank you so much, Mark. Please, can you unmute your microphone?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I know I
Hello.
can't
Can
hear
we
you.
can we make some noise, please, guys?
Yes, please, let's do that. Please, let's do that.
Unmute your
Zoom
microphones and
can.
make some noise in the house, please.
Hi, good
Yeah.
morning, ma'am.
Good
Morning.
Awesome.
Morning, ma'am.
Fantastic.
Good
I'm
morning.
sure you've been getting knowledge back to back. It's been
Hello.
loaded.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, doctor.
Awesome. So just wanted to, it'll be nice to see a few faces as well. I can see I think there's GGSSS KJFFCT1. That's amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Negotiations in everyday life. And the truth is, I think that we've been negotiating from birth. Negotiation is a skill. It's a skill that, like every other skill, some people have had the opportunity to get better with it. And some people never had the opportunity to get better with it. So before I go into my class, I want to celebrate the entire Kaiser Foundation team for putting this together. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for investing in social capital. Thank you for investing in people. Thank you for taking the time to build people. The best thing we can build. The best thing we can build. Buildings, you build houses, every innovation came from the people that were built. So I want to take my time to first celebrate the entire team at Construction Kaiser, the entire team at Kaiser Foundation for investing in our human capital, where there's a lot of room for growth within that area. And the more we invest into our human capital, the more we see a better developed society, less crime, more productivity, and the soft skills are heavily overlooked. There's an assumption that you need to know the best skills in the world is to know how to sew, is to know how to like handwork, what we call handwork. It's like this is the is the real thing. But what we actually need more importantly are the soft skills. They are the things your hard skills will ride on. So this is very impressive. I just saw somebody say from Somalia. No, I can't believe that. Is it like let me just open that pop-up. Greetings from the Republic of Somaliland. Wow.
Oh, yes, madam.
Awesome.
We have people from all around Africa. We have people from even around the world. We have people from India, Pakistan, Somalia, Liberia, Libya, Togo,
Oh my
Rwanda,
goodness.
Mali, even Nairobi. Everyone's here and everyone's
Please,
willing
please,
to
please,
listen
drop
to.
it in the comments. Just
So
take a
please, guys,
picture.
let me
Oh
make some
my
noise.
God. This is a global room. Awesome. Okay, so let's go into the idea of negotiations because I know that I have time. I'm very timed and I like to keep it within the time I've been given. But let me just set a bit of with all skills in life, every single skill, the core of our soft skills are things that grow from birth. Like there are things that we have exposure from birth. When it comes to the journey of development, it starts from when you are born. And there's some things that culturally it's built, and some things culturally is not built, it's not nurtured. The things that we culturally build, we see the impacts because you see some children that seem naturally confident, and you're wondering, why are these children why are these people, adults, confident adults, most of the time starts from being confident children. So soft skills like communication, if you don't learn how to communicate even from being young, you become an adult and you struggle with communication, and it becomes a difficult thing to be able to handle. Adaptability is a soft skill. I have little children, and I'm conscious of it that my children must learn how to adapt. We have a currency challenge in my house from yesterday. The lights that we have isn't at full capacity, so the AC wasn't working. And my son was like, I don't like sleeping with AC. I mean, I can't sleep well without AC. All of them like, hello, you need to adapt. Things that are outside our control requires us to adapt. And negotiation is a skill, is a soft skill, just like leadership, just like problem solving, just like communication, just like time management. I struggle with time management. I struggle with it because right from when I was small, I didn't learn it. I'm learning it as an adult, and it's been a challenge. So when you are trying to learn a soft skill, which are things that should be innate, you need to understand that you are trying to rewire your brain. And rewiring your brain is not an easy thing to do. Changing who you are is not an easy thing to do, but it is a possibility. You might be someone who's always been shy, always not like talking, always not shied away from leadership, always been a stickler for how things should be, and decide that in your journey of self-development, in your journey of being a successful person in career path, you have to become more creative, more adaptable, more confident in approaching situations. And if you want to become a different person, it will be rewiring your brain. It starts from you telling yourself some things about yourself, because up until this time, you believe a thing about yourself. You believe that you're not so good with negotiations. You know how we tell ourselves, I'm not so good with selling. I don't like selling. I'm not so good with writing. I like speaking. I'm not so good with whatever you've told yourself about negotiations in the past. Today is a clean slate. From today onward, we need to mute some people. From today onward, you have to decide that I need negotiations to be able to get the best out of life. And because I need it, I will become the best negotiator you can think of. Okay.
Please, guys, can we mute our microphones, please? That would be great if we can mute our microphones. Thank you. And Dr. Topper, please, can you just unmute your mic?
Thank you. Good. All right. So on the surface level, negotiation just means that you are able to have a conversation towards reaching an agreement. Negotiate, like if I'm negotiating every day, we are having a conversation towards reaching an agreement. Right from when you're born, you're negotiating. You negotiated by crying so you can reach an agreement of being fed. If you did not cry very well, you will not get fed. I had twins. I still have twins. And while I was having, when my twins were babies, the twin with the loudest voice was the twin that the twin with the loudest voice was the twin that would get fed first. What the twins were doing was negotiation. What the twins were doing by crying was negotiations. So the fact that even children need to negotiate to be alive. At a point when children become 2 years old, and I'm trying to make you know how important and how simple negotiations can be. When you are small, being loud is a skill in achieving your goal when it comes to negotiation. As you get older, being loud does not get you what you want in negotiations. So Precious is saying that the loudest voice, yes, the loudest voice worked for you as a child. But as you get older, the more you shout, the less respect you will get. So let me give you another example based on being a child. When children become 2-year-old, because they are used to throwing tantrums and crying and shouting as their negotiation skill, when they are 2 and they want something to go their way, what do? They start shouting. They start screaming. They roll themselves on the floor. Some children hit their head against the wall. Please, have you heard this happen before? Have you seen children do this? Where children will start hitting their head against the wall because they want to get their own way. And yes, that's their own skill. That's how they are negotiating. That's what they're doing. That's their own way of negotiation. The moment when they want to sort of get their way, they start crying, throwing things on the floor, because right from when they were born, the only way they could negotiate was to cry. But when they become 2 years old and they can talk, they need to start developing the skill of communication and approach. That is why parents learn to stop the throwing of tantrums as children, so that children don't become adults and think the only way to negotiate is through throwing tantrums. Apologies to non-Nigerians. Did you see what happened with Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, who went on an inspection and got to a land and went into a negotiation and the negotiation wasn't going his way. And rather than have a conversation, the minister of a minister in a country like Nigeria, equivalent to a governor of a state, started throwing tantrums as opposed to negotiating. Do you understand how not having negotiation skills can bring you shame and embarrassment, even as a person at a place of honor? Because our minister watered down his position and was embarrassed because he did not understand the simple principle we're talking about today: how to negotiate from a place of power and even a place where you seem not to have power. Because see another man in that same scene. If you did not, sorry, I'm assuming everybody understood what negotiation is. The naval officer wasn't just communicating, he was negotiating and having his way. Because at the bedrock of negotiation is communication. Because what you want to achieve with negotiation is to be able to reach a result that is amicable for both parties. Is having a discussion that would get you an agreement. So at the end of the drama that happened in Abuja 2 days ago, who got the right agreement? The naval guy. The naval guy is not as powerful, but at the end of the negotiation, the naval guy got his way because he communicated and stood his grounds. Negotiation is about your ability to have a conversation to the point with which you can achieve your results, the results you prefer. It might not be the best result you want, but the best result for both parties. However, it rides on your ability to communicate. So children are brought up to learn how to communicate so that as they grow older, they don't throw tantrums as a means to achieve their goals, but they negotiate as a way to achieve their goals. Are we following? Just want to be sure we're following. If you are following, I want you to type following. I'm following. Yes. I want to be sure that you're following. Awesome. I can see. Very good. So when it comes to negotiation, it's an everyday thing. It's not something you do once in a while. It's not something you do when you are comfortable. It's something you do every day. Every day you speak, you are negotiating. Every day you talk, you are positioning yourself. Even your carriage puts an idea in people's minds on how to negotiate with you. So I will go back to the example of what happened in Abuja. And I'm sorry to the non-Nigerians. I will try and let me give you for non-Nigerians, this is what happened in Abuja. Just a quick one. A minister wanted to go to a land, and the naval officer stood on the land and said the minister cannot go into the land based on the fact that he, as a naval officer, had been given orders to allow nobody get there. And the minister got angry, was cursing, using foul language, and trying to muscle his way into the land, have access. But the naval officer stood his ground consistently, even in his body language. The naval officer had his hand in his pocket. He had the courage of a person in power, even though by ranking, the minister was of more hierarchy than the naval officer. It's about how he carried himself. You can dress up in a way that you enter into a room, and before you say a word, you go for an interview, and just by the virtue of your dressing and your courage, you have given an impression that if you go for an interview and the person you are going to interview with, in his mind, wanted to pay you minimum wage in Nigeria, minimum wage is 70,000 naira. And you show up for the interview, you smell nice, you carried yourself well, you dressed nice, you looked well put together. Then you were asked questions and you answered with such eloquence that right there, the interviewers start reevaluating what they were planning to pay you. Your entire body language is negotiating on your behalf. The way you speak is negotiating on your behalf. The knowledge you have is negotiating on your behalf. Everything comes together in how well you can negotiate. You owe it to yourself to ensure that all of these things stack up. All of these things stack up, because you can approach a person to get a deal, to do a transaction, to get a job, to negotiate a fee. And because of how you spoke, maybe they had an idea of what they wanted to pay. Your speaking made them downgrade what they were going to pay. Everything about you is negotiating. Everything you say, everything you do with clients, with colleagues, with family, everything is a negotiation, and you need to understand it. When we talk about the idea of how to best negotiate, there are some common misconceptions that people have about negotiations. And I gave an example earlier, that people feel that to negotiate, you will be arguing. Negotiation is not about arguing. It's not about shouting. When you start arguing and shouting, you go back into your childhood self. You go into being a 2-year-old, a 5-year-old, someone without the reasoning faculty or capacity to communicate. You shout. If you see things not going your way and your first response is to say, I'm shouting, you will not get what you deserve if all you do is argue and shout. Because Negotiation is not about shouting. It's not about arguing. It's about alignment. It's about stating your value. And the truth is, there are a few things that can help you with negotiations, but I always like sharing my story. I always like sharing my story because sometimes when you talk about things that are a bit intangible, like soft skills, people do not see how powerful it is and how it applies to their everyday life until they see scenarios where it has played out before. So I have gone for an interview and I was being interviewed to be the head of makeup and wardrobe. And we negotiated, let's say we negotiated 10 naira for makeup. And I was okay with 10 naira for makeup. And then when I was going there to sign my contract, I met a meeting going on. Okay, so let me explain. They read my bio, but I do many things. I used to be a makeup artist. Yeah, surprisingly, I don't have any makeup on, but I used to be a makeup artist. I ran a makeup studio. I consulted for a television station. I did media, music videos, television shows, makeup professionally. And then I went to being on television as a television co-host, a presenter, and I've done that for the past 13 years. But how did I go from being a makeup artist into being a makeup consultant and even a wardrobe consultant? It was through negotiations. I was a makeup person for the group. And when I got into the television station's HR office, I saw that they just finished a meeting, and the meeting, I was told to sit. So I sat down and I was waiting. The meeting took place, and it was the fact that they were terminating the wardrobe person. The wardrobe person had character flaws, the power of soft skills. The wardrobe person for that television station, the person had a job, and the person was supposed to earn income from styling everybody that is going on TV. Now, if you see anybody on TV, in most cases, somebody was the one that said, this is what you should wear, this is how your hair should look. Now, the person who had that job had a character flaw. The person was quarreling with everybody. The person now quarreled with someone and insulted the person, and this person got reported to the HR. At that point, her contract was terminated. I was there to sign the contract as the head of makeup, and they said, do you have any idea about wardrobe? Would you like to handle wardrobe for us? Because obviously, just at that moment, somebody had lost a job, meaning there's now opportunity. And the opportunity is that there's now room for someone to fill that space. And the company couldn't start thinking of doing another hiring process because this is a television station. We need makeup and wardrobe. So they asked me, Tokwe, can you handle wardrobe for us in addition to doing makeup? Never say never. I said, yes, I can handle it. I've been around enough wardrobe people to have an idea what they can do. Do I know everything it takes to be a wardrobe person? No. But you have to learn how to seize opportunities when you get them. So here I was, a makeup artist, going to sign my contract. One person, by their lack of character, had missed an opportunity. You see, when we talk about negotiations, oh, another story came into my head. Let me tell you this story. As a presenter in TVC, as they were recruiting new presenters, and then we did audition. And there was a lady we really liked. This lady was good. She spoke very well, had good courage. And we said, come and sign your contract. So she came in and she got to the gate at TVC. And when you, I don't know if you've had this experience before, please comment. When you want to enter into an office and they say they want to search your car, they want you to set they want you to call the person you want to go and meet. You know how they want to ascertain who do you want to go and meet. Make the phone call. We want to check your car, open your boots, calm down, sign in. And this lady, I've not seen your comments if you've experienced it. Have you gone to offices and say, call the person you want to see? I need you to respond. This is not a silent meeting. Not via talk. Don't talk, please. Don't talk. Just chat. Thank you. Fantastic. We are together. So she was coming into the station to sign a contract as a presenter. And she became angry with the security men that they were interrogating her too much. because she was making phone call and the person she was calling wasn't picking the phone. Then she got angry. She said, I have been here 4 times. I came for audition. I was just here last week. And you saw me. You saw me now. I came. I came for audition and I'm here to have a meeting. And the Oga said that, sorry. Then she raised her voice and started cursing. She was using the F word. She was using the A word. And the security men were like, eh? They will not allow her enter until they get a phone call from the Oga that she should come in. So by the time she got the phone call to come in, the security men sent a message to the HR that this lady, the kind of character flaw and the kind of insult she rained on at the security office, they don't think she should be brought into the office. So as in they gave a breakdown of what she did. So she got into the office, and by the time she was sitting down to have, in her mind, she was supposed to have a contract signed. They were like, they are going to reconsider it. Long and short, just by getting angry at the gates and displaying lack of character, she lost the job. She didn't sign that contract. She didn't get on TV. Everything you do is a negotiation. And every time you approach people, it tells us about who you are. So if you are someone right from primary school, I don't know how to control myself. I just always get angry. I must say what is on my mind. Hello. When you are negotiating with someone, you need to understand the fact that your goal is to specify your value and reach an agreement, not to argue till you win. You can argue till you win. Chief Debaters Club. Some of you were in Debaters Club in school. You know how to debate. You are master debaters. How many of you are master debaters? Yeah, you can put it there. It's a skill. It's a good thing. Being able to talk fast and express yourself and, drop the points. It can serve you if you are debating in school. But when you are going into the career place, when you want to grow as a career professional, it is not by arguing and debating. Surprisingly, one of the core parts of the mindset to be a master negotiator, and I'll be sharing 4 with you. One core part of it is to listen more than you talk. Listening. Somebody type listening. Somebody type listening. Write it down. Listening. I'm sharing 4 core mind shifts that you need to be a master negotiator. You must be a master listener. A master listener. Like, you will listen to the point that they will think, is this person smart? Because you become a master listener. So let me go back to my story of when I was going to become the head of makeup in a television station, and they offered me to become head of wardrobe, and I said, yes, I can do it. They now asked me this trick question: how much would you like to earn? And I did this thing. I listened. I said, well, when I came here, I had no plan to head your wardrobe, and wardrobe will require a lot of work. What's your current budget for wardrobe? And what do you think would be a fair fit for the fact that I'll be doing the job of 2 different people? If I had said anything, I probably would have said, I said they were going to pay me, let's say they were going to pay me 10 naira. I said that I would have said maybe they should pay me 15 naira. When I mentioned that I'm willing to accept the job, and because instead of going into talking about what I felt was what they should pay me, what I did was to say, what do you think I can earn? And they said, before we're going to pay you 10 naira for makeup. For wardrobe, we'll just match it with another 10 naira. So my salary became 20 naira. And I sat down and said, okay, nowhere in my mind would I have asked them to pay me double. Nowhere in my mind. Even at the point when they were asking me to give an offer, I would have probably said, pay me 12 naira or pay me 15 naira. Nowhere would I have thought that I should ask them to pay me double. But because I wasn't in a hurry to talk, because I took time to listen, because I wasn't in a hurry to say, this is what I want, and took time to ask, what do they want to give me? I was able to get a better deal than I could have negotiated for myself. Because I was able to be seen as someone worth more than I thought I was worth. Let me tell you, even the 10 naira they were going to pay me before, I didn't think I was worth the 10 naira. Talk of the 20 naira I ended up getting. And I'm using 20 naira just as an example because I didn't want to mention figures. But sometimes when you learn how to listen in negotiations, you don't get what you think you are worth. You get what your courage, your confidence, your eloquence will give you. Sometimes in our mind, we think what we should earn is 1 naira, but your courage of excellence, your look of excellence, your attention to detail, the things you have displayed will give them an impression that you are worth more, and they will then offer you more. And you'll be surprised. We can hear you.
Madam,
Mute yourself, please.
Mr. Admin, can mute.
So here is the thing. When I look at myself and think I am worth 10 naira, but because I'm new to the workplace, and many of you are new to the workplace, or you are trying to get work in a new environment. If all your life they've paid you this amount of money, even when you go to a new environment, you would think that maybe they should just pay me marginally more. But when you learn to listen rather than talk in a negotiation, you will get more in cash value than what you think you should get in the first place. Number 2, mindset when it comes to being a master negotiation. I need to rush. See people, don't see position. Remember the story I shared with you about the presenter who was coming in to sign a contract, but lost the contract because of a gate man. The security man is a small position, but the security man can cost you your job. The security man can cost you opportunity. The security man can cost you the contract. The security man can cost you the promotion. The secretary can cost you the promotion. The secretary is a small position. Don't look down on anybody because you think this position is small. I am coming to interview to be the vice president of this company. I am coming for the interview of the people CEO, the HR consultant. I have had 25 years of experience, or I've had 10 years experience. I graduated with first class. I am sought after. Every company is headhunting me because I have first class. But you do not respect the secretary. You disrespect the gate man. See people and value people. The first thing I said is listening. The second thing I'm saying is see people, not position. People, not position. Type it out, type it out, type it out. We're in this together. Don't be passive about learning. Learning involves you being engaged. Type, write, see people, not position. And treat everybody equally. People have lost jobs because they disrespected a cleaner. People have lost opportunities because they disrespected or they didn't treat the person right. There are little things that you do that if you don't take it seriously, it might cost you big time. So when you don't see people and you are focusing on, I would only respect the big men, I would only respect the CEO, even an intern is deserving of your respect. You know the person is an intern. I have worked in an organization where someone that came in as an intern became a copper, became a producer, became a senior producer, and is now the one giving orders to people that were in the company as presenters. Imagine you disrespected the person when the person was an intern. People, not position. Don't disrespect anybody. Don't talk down on anybody. Don't go into negotiation and see people wearing top and jeans. And because you've worn suits, you think that the people wearing top and jeans, that they're wearing just an ordinary t-shirt, they are not deserving of your attention in a negotiation. Treat everybody equally. Because I run a real estate company. In Nigeria, it is not normal to have women running real estate company in the way I do it. So some people assume when I go for a meeting with my lawyer that my lawyer owns the company and I'm the one assisting him. And they don't get the transaction. The deal does not work. Don't look down on me. I don't mind being undermined, but I don't want, it tells me about who you are. So if I have a meeting with you and you talk and you are looking at the man only, you don't even greet me. You come into the room, you see a man and a woman and you say, good morning, sir. You didn't say good morning, ma. Greet everybody. You are here to meet people.
Ẹ̀kọ́ lẹ́ máa ti mú rice of
position.
Kọ́lọ́run sí.
Wow.
Kọ́lọ́run lọ fi ṣe wọn fi ata ṣe lé.
Please, guys, can we make sure we're muting our microphones? Thank you.
Yeah, very important. I think it's extremely important. Everybody that you're meeting, if you see 5 people on the table, every single of those 5, what do? Greet every one of them. If you see their names on the table, greet every single one of them by name. The fact that you call out their name makes them they feel like you paying attention to detail. You get a bit more warm in your negotiations. And like I said, we are negotiating every day, every single day. That's why I gave the example of a lady that lost her job because she was not negotiating right with this gate man. Who would have thought that after passing the audition, after going through stiff process, just because they didn't negotiate appropriately because you think negotiation is how I talk. Negotiation is your character, is your courage. It's not just your communication alone. Everything you do, how well you respect is negotiation. That's what I'm letting you get. It's a soft skill. They are intangible things, but they can make or break your career. They can bring growth or they can bring your career down to nothing. If you know how many people tell you that drivers gave them the contract, having the number of the CEO is good, but having the number of his PA is more powerful. You want to have a meeting with a powerful person, respect the PA. Put it in the comments, respect the PA, respect the driver, because drivers and PAs, while Oga is busy, the PA will pick the phone. The driver knows when Oga will be there. Is Oga in the office? Is Oga in the office? You keep going to the office, you don't meet Oga. Just be learning to call the driver. Driver, shock at the office. Is Oga there? Oga is not in the office yet. Okay. When do you think Oga will go to the office? It will shock you that you will have the appointment, you will get the contract just by respecting the PA and paying attention to the driver. Those people are very important. Moving on to the third point I'm sharing with you today out of the 4. Point number 3, clarity, not control. Don't negotiate with the aim of controlling the person you are in a transaction with. I have come here to sell you this land. I do real estate. You want to sell a land, you want to sell a house, and you say it is either 150 million or nothing else. I'm like, hello, can we do 145? Can we do? And the person say, no, it is either this or nothing. When you go into a transaction or a negotiation with the intention of controlling the outcome, in most cases, you don't get the best deal. Your goal is not to control the outcome. Be clear regarding your goal. My goal is to get a job. I want to work with Construction Kaiser, no matter anyhow. Anyhow is going to happen. I want to work there. Okay, so I went there and I was hoping to become the HR, and they said what they have is front desk. Because I'm clear about my goal, I am not there to control the outcome of how things would work. My goal is I will be front desk, and then I'll work my way to where I want to get to. But if I'm trying to control the situation, if I'm trying to determine the outcome, if I'm trying to say it is my way or the highway, we don't get a negotiation. So sometimes I deliberately make my children negotiate. Whenever my kids come to me and be like, oh, they need extra money for something, I say, read a book. When you read the book, you get the extra money. Okay, they read the book, they now want to double the money they get. It's about teaching them how to negotiate. We are constantly negotiating at every point in time. Even when you're driving, when you flash your indicator light, I'm going this way, the person giving you room, as you've negotiated with that person, just with indicator light that I am turning left, give me room. I'm turning left, give me room. That's negotiation. It's about clarity, not control. It is what, if you are clear about what you want to achieve, you won't flare up if it doesn't go your way in that moment, because you know what you want to achieve is long term. I might not get the job, but I have a relationship. I might not get the contract, but I have met the boss and I made a good impression. And so if they have another opportunity, they will call me. Say that you are a furniture person and you were hoping to do the furnishing of the kitchens in a building being constructed by construction caser. Guess what? You might not get that job. You got into the room. Be clear. I got into the room is a big deal. I might not get the job, but I have made a good impression that the next time an opportunity comes, who would they call? Me. Don't try to control the situation and the outcome. Have clarity concerning what you want to achieve. If you go into a negotiation and you go and tell the person, just give me anything. You know how we say, just give me any work. I want to work for you. Any work would do. Because you're not clear, you won't get what you want. I have never employed anybody that say, come to me and say, just give me any work. It means that you don't have clarity. I don't want clueless people around me. If you are going to seek a job, be clear about what you want to deliver to the company. If you are going to get a contract, be clear about what you would do. If you employ me as your, if you bring, well, I'm not seeking employment, I don't even know an example to do, but let's say if you employ me as your salesperson, I promise you that in the minimum, I might not be able to guarantee you sales increase within the first 1 month, but I will guarantee you that you will get more leads. I would go for the leads. That is someone coming in with clarity on what they can deliver on. You are a salesperson. You want to get a job in a company, and they say, "What can you do for us?" I would answer calls. I'll go out. You are not clear. You need to have clarity on the worst case scenario on what I can give in this situation. When you negotiate without clarity, you put yourself at a disadvantage. And companies and people who know what they want will not go your way. Point number 4, aim for a win-win. And if it doesn't work, go with grace. Win-win. In every deal, don't desire to take more from them than you are getting, than they are getting from you. It has to be balanced. It has to be balanced. Don't go into a transaction or a negotiation with the aim of taking advantage of people. If you get it done, let's even say you are able to successfully do it once or twice. You do it once, or you get it, you take advantage of a deal, you negotiate, and the person loses once or twice. The opportunity closes forever. So win-win. Number 4, win-win. Write it down. Win-win. The goal is a win-win. And if I lose, I can never lose because I got a relationship. You must have that mindset. Even if I don't get what I wanted, I got a relationship. Never lose the relationship. Every negotiation gives you at least one thing: relationship. It might not give you the deal. Don't miss the relationship. There's a win-win in every deal. Go in for the win, and the win is at least I get a relationship. Don't focus on how am I going to take advantage of the next person. Go in for a deal where I win, you win. I get a good pay, you get a good service. I get the contract, you get a good job. Win, win. Not win, lose. Not lose and the person wins. I don't want any of you to lose in a negotiation and the person you're negotiating with wins. I don't want the person to lose and you win. It's not a fair deal. Everybody can win. And even if you don't get what you want, ensure that you are able to get a relationship out of the deal. So I'll share 4 more things and then take your questions. I'll be fast with this one, don't worry. 4 things that can strengthen your negotiation skills. If you haven't done any course on emotional intelligence, find a course on emotional intelligence. There are many of them, free courses, free programs. There's a book called Emotional Intelligence. Read the book on the book Emotional Intelligence. Read it. It will help you understand how to read the room, read the body language, because a lot of things, right from the body language, you can see that if I say, when I mentioned 1,000, I could see the way their faces look. Maybe I should bring my price to 1.2 or take it higher. Ability to read the room. You should also learn communication. The more you master communication, the better you get. You need to understand financial literacy. You cannot negotiate without having financial literacy. Oh yeah, I'm running. So tools that can strengthen your negotiation skill. Let's write it down. Number 1, emotional intelligence. I'm trying to remember who wrote the book. Is it Dan? I'll Google it right now. Emotional. Once you put
Guys, we can drop the speaker on later.
Daniel, I should it was Dan something. Daniel Goldman. Thank you so much, Precious. So emotional intelligence is number 1. Number 2, communication mastery. You need to master communication. So study communication, read about it, take courses on public speaking. It helps you. Take courses that will help you with elocution, because some of you talk and we don't hear what you're saying, and it might disturb you from being able to take advantage of some opportunities. 3, financial literacy. You need to have financial literacy. You need to research and understand what's the going rate for what you want to do. Because some of you underprice yourself and undervalue yourself because you don't know what the going rate is. So financial literacy is number 3. Number 1, emotional intelligence. Number 2, communication mastery. Number 3, financial literacy. Number 4 is a soft skill. You need to learn to be patient. You know, I mentioned it earlier, but these are things, little things that can strengthen your negotiations. Really, it will strengthen your negotiations. And I'll add something else. You need to prepare ahead of every negotiation. There are 4 P's I'll share with you again. As I've said, patience. Let's make it 5 P's. Patience is really key. Preparation. Write it down, because preparation builds your confidence. The other P, presence. I've not seen anybody write preparation. Type preparation. Presence. Your courage is important. I spoke about it earlier. Purpose, I mentioned it when I said clarity. The purpose, have clarity concerning what you want to do. The purpose, have the big picture in view all the time. It's not for you to be right. So your patience, your preparation, your presence, the way you carry yourself, your presence is key. Your presence builds your confidence, it builds your connection, being able to connect. Your preparation builds your confidence, and your purpose keeps you there. And you have to be powerful. You need to understand your power. Your power means that you know your strength. I know what I can do. I am a good teacher. So if you invite me to speak at a conference, if you invite me to speak in your church, if you invite me to teach your team, your company, I know what I'm worth. If I send you my rate card, it is with confidence, because I understand the power I carry. You need to know it. So there's a question I saw that I would like to take. I still have a few things more on my slides, but I'm out of time, and I apologize. I really did not want to go over time, but I'll say this one thing as my final thing, as my challenge to you. Go into a negotiation with intentionality today. I want you to negotiate something today. Make up your mind, this is what you want to achieve, and find a way to negotiate it. And you have to build as a skill. Like I said, negotiation is a skill. It's like carrying weights. The more you carry, the better, the stronger your muscle becomes. So the more you negotiate, the better you become with negotiation. So negotiate something today. Today, go into a negotiation today and practice the things that I've shared with you, and continue to do it with that consciousness. So somebody said something. I saw something about, what if your boss something. Yes, I got that question. Angie Mariam, what if you're not giving your salary? What if this salary make your employer think you don't know your worth / salary? Okay, I think I have an idea of what you're saying. Like if the salary you are getting from your employer or the salary you are demanding from your employer is less than what you think you're worth, get clear. What do I really want? Do I want to get in the room or do I want to win in this room? If you have patience, strategic patience, which is what I said, you will know that I can start in a place where I'm not well paid and prove myself to be a person deserving of more pay per time. And proving yourself, let me give you this very key thing. In your journey of proving yourself, your boss might not know or see how you are proving yourself. Every time you achieve anything, take note of your achievement so that the day you want to go and negotiate for increase in salary, you can hold your phone and say, on the 7th of July, you gave me this project to do and I did it and we achieved this result. On the 15th of August, you gave me this project to do and I achieved the result. On the 30th of August, you asked us for ideas that can bring revenue to the company, and I brought this and this idea. The company implemented this and this idea, and the idea brought this and this money. How many of you do that? You want your company to pay you more money. And you are not willing to defend why you are worth that money. No company is going to pay you money because they like you. They pay you money because they think you are worth it or the services you have delivered is worth it. So maybe the services you've delivered hasn't been worth it. So let them know that it is worth it. Do you know that you can make a list of the things you think are achievements and your HR or your line manager will tell you that all these things you are saying you did are not the things I need. And they'll tell you, these are the things I really, really need you to do. Spend 1 month focusing on these things and then you realize, okay, maybe I have been, in my head, I think I'm working so hard, but the things I'm working on is not adding value to the company in the way the company wants to achieve. So if you were asking based on my story and you were thinking that I earned more than I thought I was worth because I did not know my value at that time, I gave more than what I was paid. I underestimated the work I needed to do. So yes, at the point when I was negotiating, I would have asked for less money because I did not know the kind of work I would need to do. I've never done it before. But by the time I started doing the work, I gave more in use value than what I got in cash value. Is expressing or saying your mind a negotiation skill. Learning how to express your mind in a way that is clear is a powerful negotiation. It's under communication. I can say my mind. Maybe you did something to me, I'm going into a transaction. I was going to buy, there was a house I was negotiating for. And I was talking, it was a Zoom meeting, my lawyer, the lawyer of the landlord, the owner of the house, and I and my accountant were in the meeting. And when I tend to listen, my lawyer was talking, the accountant was talking. At a point, I jumped into the conversation. I said, based on what I've heard from this conversation, barrister, you don't want us to buy this property because you are intentionally making it difficult. You are intentionally making it difficult for us to close this deal. That is me saying my mind. But did I say it rudely? No. But I said my mind that because the man was in the lawyer was, every time we tried to make a deal, he would say no. I said, so you don't want us to do this transaction? Then just let us end the meeting. I said, let's end this meeting. When you have something you want us to buy, keep in touch with my lawyer. We'll be interested. So you can say your mind, but don't be rude. Say your mind, be clear, and live with grace. All right. Thank you so much for your time. I always end my meetings by saying, keep growing. On social media, I am TMO Speaks. I teach on a daily basis on many things that would help you to grow. I'm particular about helping people to grow. So follow me on social media at TMO Speaks. Let me just type it out.
Thank you so much, Dr. Topper. We appreciate you.
All
It's
right.
been a power-packed session, and I got so many private messages saying that people have learned so much from this session. I've also taken out a few things, obviously a summary, which is listen more than you talk, especially in negotiation. I think I do that a lot, and I think it's really helped me in my career. I say mindset is also something that I took away from this session. You have to have a positive mindset. I always say, never think of no, never think of negative, always think positive. Clarity, not control. Very important. You need to understand where your party, the next person is coming from. You need to know what their pain points are. I think it's very important to be able to come to a resolution. And finally, it's a win-win. Go for a win-win situation. Aim for a win-win situation. Something where both people benefit from. Thank you so much for that session. I really
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
I learned so much. And it's so lovely to have you. Can we put a round of applause for Dr. Topper, please, on the group? Can we just give her lovely cheers? Can we thank her so much for this lovely session? And just because of time, I'll just quickly welcome our next speaker, who will be taking us on how to build our personal brand and online influence. So our next speaker today is Mr. Hertz Fauzan, who is a seasoned product and market strategist with over a decade of experience shaping innovation across technology, finance, and infrastructure in Africa and beyond. A former product lead at Snap Inc., DMA Capital, and Nigers International. Wow, that's a lot. He has played a pivotal role in structuring and facilitating over $1.5 billion in strategic contracts. I hope you guys are excited as much as I am because I want to learn so much from Mr. Fauzan. He's a strategist and entrepreneur, a thorough leader who has built a train of thought into one of Africa's fastest growing personal and business growth platforms. He has over 15 years in shaping billion-dollar venture scalable projects across governments and non-governmental organizations. He is known for his ability to simplify complex ideas into actionable strategies. Let's put a round of applause for Mr. Fauzan, guys. Thank you. Let's just make some noise on the group. Thank you. Let's make some noise on the chat section, please. I need to see you clapping. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That intro is, I want to meet the guy you just introduced. It seems incredible. Thank you so much, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm hoping everybody can hear me. If you can't, let me know ASAP, just so we don't miss anything. My hope is you can hear me. I will not spend too much reintroducing myself. I think the intro that was given is a lot more powerful than the one that I would give myself. I don't think there's anything meaningful I would necessarily add there. And I want to keep a lot of my thinking and my conversation strictly to the subject of building your personal brand and online influence. Now, first of all, we have very, very, very wrongly appropriated the understanding of what a personal brand is. And that is because a lot of people that really don't know what a personal brand is have used it for nefarious purposes. So you have people that says this is my personal brand, but they're scamming people. I have a personal brand, but they're on social media twerking or whatever nonsense they're always up to. And so many people have misunderstood what it really is and what it actually means to your success in anything that you are doing. Now, the concept of personal branding is not necessarily new at all. As a matter of fact, it's probably one of the single oldest soft skills in modern civilization. Um, when you look at throughout history, there's a reason why countries had flags that had symbols. And by identifying yourself or by identifying that symbol, you would then identify the language of that country. And then they had anthems, and then they had mottos, and some countries have entire poems that they recite, Pledge of Allegiance. All of that is branding. In the simplest form of it, branding is a consistent association of yourself with certain beliefs, perspectives, or actions. If someone sees you, they should have that understanding of this person stands for this or stands against this. And once you successfully understand fundamentally what that brand means, then by then you would conclude and understand that we actually are all doing some sort of personal branding, whether we like it or not. That's the basis we need to start with. You are doing personal branding in every single little thing that you do. You're building your brand. A brand is not a logo. Again, it's one of the things that we have misconstrued. When we hear brand, we think logo because in our mind, brand is Coca-Cola, Apple, MTN. No, a brand is what people associate you with, whether that is a feeling, whether that is a behavior, whether that is a quality, etc. A logo is just an identifier. It's just a brand mark. It identifies what the brand is. But the brand is what people associate you with. So in whatever you do, before we even go on to the online, in whatever you do, keep it in mind that you're enforcing a brand. If you, for example, are a student and you associate yourself with weed smokers and you guys are always on colos, you are building a brand of you are a weed smoker. That's your brand. If you associate yourself with football players, you are a football player. That's your brand, and so forth. So it's important to understand that before we even take it online, that every single thing we do every day of our lives, we are reinforcing or creating a brand. Now, why am I speaking to you about personal branding? Is about 4 months ago, I started my online presence and I started this thing called Train of Thought. And what happens over there is I just hop online every day and make a video talking about different things about the human experience. It can range from business to life transformation and so forth. My initial thinking was, people don't really care about this kind of information. So I'm gonna get 10,000 followers if I'm super lucky. In 4 months, I was very wrong about that. In 4 months, Instagram has gone to over 110,000 followers now. TikTok is almost at 200,000 followers, which is absolutely crazy. But that also told me that there is a market, there are people that actually want to transform their lives. And everybody on this call is actually one of those people. I have a very, very deep understanding of brands as they are because I've worked with so many multi-billion dollar brands. For everybody that's driving Mercedes-Benz A-Class, I was the engineer of the campaign for marketing the A-Class. I've worked with Snapchat, Walt Disney, and so many others. So I have a good understanding of what branding is. And with the success of Train of Thought, I also have a very good understanding of what personal branding is. Now, we've already established that you are a brand, whether you like it or not. Everything you do, you're being judged before you even speak. I want you to keep this quote. Your life is a performance. Every day you get out of your house, you're performing. Always make sure you put on a show that you would want to watch because other people are watching that performance. The only time you're not performing is when you're in your house by yourself. As long as you step out, as long as you reach out to anybody, you're performing. And they will remember that performance probably more than you will. And that performance enforces what your brand is. Now, why does it matter? We have moved from, so we came originally from the lineage age, where your success in society depended on who's your mother, who's your father, what's your lineage. Are you a royal or are you a peasant? During that age, it was almost impossible to make it from the bottom. It was you are born a peasant, you live a peasant, you die a peasant. If you were born a royal, you live a royal, you die a royal. It was so hard to cross over. And then when we entered the industrial age, we now, no, before we even got into the industrial age, when we went into the Renaissance period, we now got into the knowledgeable age, the age of knowledge. That's why they call it the Renaissance, the age of like this great change. That's when we had people that we started now having people that were not necessarily born in high lineages, actually managed to scale up to those lineages. That's where the Leonardo da Vinci's now came in. Very talented people that managed to cross over and deal with the royals and the leaderships just because of their talents and their knowledge and their skills. That's where we got the Plato. Well, Plato was a lot earlier, but that's why we got philosophers like like Kant and um, Nietzsche and so forth. Now, that age ended when the Industrial Revolution came in. The Industrial Revolution now kicked off the labor age, where a lot of the money you got, a lot of the position you had, a lot of how you ended up in society was correlated with your position in the labor market. It also made it possible to go from poor to rich. That's why we had people like Vanderbilt or Rockefeller or Henry Ford and or Carl Benz or and so many others go from not being rich to becoming titans of industry and multi-billionaires and inventors. That world could allow you to grow. Around 2008, that age started coming to an end and we entered the information age, which is the age we're in today, where majority of your growth and development in life is tied to your ability to communicate yourself, your ability to be heard, seen, and remembered by people. You don't even many times have to be the best at what you do. Just be in everybody's faces. I can dare anybody on this call to tell me what Kim Kardashian's talent is, and nobody knows. She's famous for being famous. She's not the only one. Nigeria has its own share of those people. What's Bobrisky's talent? A sex change is not a talent. Why is she rich and famous? Because she's famous for, or him, or it, I don't know. Famous for being famous. She's in everyone's face and everybody sees him all the time. And so Bobrisky is famous and he's making money as a result of that. But you can't pinpoint and say, this is their talent or this is what they've contributed to the labor market or they were born in a royal family and that's why they're famous. So we are in the attention age where it's mostly about how people know you and how people remember you that will determine how far you go in life. When we were still in the labor age, musicians only became famous because they were good musicians. That's why old music always sounds really good, because only the best of the best made it. Today, Portable is famous and has money. His music is honestly horrible. And he's not the only one. There's so many musicians that you listen to and say, how was this person allowed to enter the studio But it doesn't matter. They manage to harness attention, and when they manage to harness attention, their music sold. If you have 1 million people that look at you every day, even if you're speaking nonsense, there's at least 100,000 idiots out of those millions that love your nonsense that will give you money. That's the power of attention. That's the age that we're in today. So you cannot afford to be silent. You cannot afford to hide yourself. Attention is the new currency. That's the age we're in today. The algorithms of the social medias that we are on all the time, they do not see or reward ghosts. You have to be present. You have to be there. Before I started Train of Thought, I had 0 followers, 0 posts. I didn't exist because I didn't care for the world knowing who I am or what I have done. However, I decided to start creating the content. And now I have a lot more people knowing what I've done, what I'm capable of. And they're like, wow, you've been hiding all this time. It's like, yeah, I was hiding it. Being known didn't matter much to me. However, I'm also not stupid to not know that my future benefits more if I'm out there into the world than if I keep hiding. So you do not benefit from hiding yourself. You have to be known because we are in the age of attention. Now, there's a big, big caveat. You need to understand what you should be known for. Okay? To recap the different points I have given, I've told you what branding is and where we are with it today. I've given you a quick history. Then I've told you why it matters. We are in the attention age now. You must be known. You must be seen. But then the next step when you're defining your brand identity is, what do you want to be known for? If your name is Ismail or James or Patrick, you are Patrick the who. Now, to show you that personal branding is not new, have you people ever noticed that Oimbo people have names like James Carpenter, you know, Patrick Fields? They have names that should be nouns of other objects. It's because those were the brands of the initial people that had that name. So that if a man is named James Carpenter, maybe his grandfather or great grandfather was a carpenter. And so he was James the Carpenter. That's what he was known for. That was his brand. It's just that then they dropped the and it becomes James Carpenter. William Barber, he used to be a barber. So they drop the and it becomes William Barber, and then they become family names. So it is not new. Like I said, the concept of personal branding is as old as civilization, right? When you go to the Arab world, when it comes to names and branding, your initial brand is your family lineage because they still have a very monarchical structure. For the Muslims, Prophet Muhammad was called Muhammad bin Abdullah, Muhammad, the son of Abdullah. Abdullah was his father. For the Christians, Jesus, the son of Mary, because his father was God. So for those ones that did not want to refer to him as the son of God, they would call him the son of Mary. So your name, your initial brand back then was tied to your lineage. Then after, it started being tied to what you do, what you're famous for. Today, your name has to be synonymous with something you stand for. So that when someone mentions that something, you're the first person people think of. Right? If someone comes now and says the word musician and Igbo in the same sentence, Burna Boy and Wizkid are the first two people that are going to come to your mind. Because their brand has been built around them being really good musicians that really love smoking weed. You have to identify what you want to be known for, whatever that is. As long as, of course, it's not criminal or immoral, whatever it is, identify what you want to be known for and do everything that you do online to reinforce what you want to be known for. I started Train of Thought to help transform the African mind, right? To transform how people think about themselves, how they think about business, how they live life. You will never find me on train of thought talking about whether Toke Makinwa is better than Bobrisky. That's not what I'm known for. And I don't want to be known for that. Even if it's a subject I may know about, you will never find me discussing that. That's not what I want to be known for. It is very important that you don't let the world mislabel you, because the world will always find a place to put you. If you like, do what you want to do, they will eventually say, okay, this one belongs there, because you didn't put yourself in a position where they would identify you. Nobody can come to Aliko Dangote and mislabel him as a footballer. No, they know he's a businessman because he's labeled himself that way, right? But while you're establishing what you're known for, ensure to also establish what you do, what you don't want to be known for. If people know what you stand for, make sure you're also clear on what you stand against. I can debate politics with you from here to next Monday, because in my journey of work, I have put a governor in power in Telangana state in India, 2014, the first female governor in India. I worked on her campaign. The current president of Comoros, I wrote the marketing campaign that made him the president. I've worked with President Museveni in Uganda and two other governors, in one, a district one in Kenya, and another one, a mayor in Uganda. But you will never find me online discussing politics, because I don't want to be known as a political commentator. My aim is transforming African lives, not getting into politics. And yet I know about politics a lot. I'm an engineer by training. I can discuss science and physics with you any day of the week. You will never find me putting that out there, because that's not what I want to be known for. So even if you're good at something, if that's not the thing you want to be known for in the world, don't put it out. Put out the thing you want to be known for. I have flogged that horse enough. Now, there are three pillars to ensuring you're known for the right thing. Number one, your skill. The thing you want to be known for should be something you're good at, or at the very least, something you're interested enough in. I am not a good basketball player, because very early on in my life, I realized I was vertically challenged. I am not as tall as a proper basketball player. My God, you will never find me trying to be known for basketball, because I'll be challenged. The world will challenge you if you try to be known for something you're not knowledgeable in. One of the previous speakers spoke about electric vehicles. I know his company very well, because the other company that I helped make a $1 billion signing, Nigas International, actually did some work with them. I know his company very well. That man knows electric cars like the back of his hand. That's why he's known for it. You will not find him trying to be known for diapers. He does not sell diapers. So the first pillar is the skill. Make sure that whatever you're known for is something you're good at, or you have a very big interest in. Therefore, you're constantly learning about it. Pillar number two is the story. When I say the word story, I'm not talking about once upon a time sitting people on a campfire. No. When I say story, is the narrative that people should attach to you. That when people say you're skilled at this, okay, what's your narrative? What's your story? What's your background? What do they know about you? And then the third one is your style. For the football fans here, Messi's style is dribbling with the ball at close control and then shooting. Cristiano Ronaldo's style, on the other hand, is speed, aggression, heavy shots. Both incredible footballers, very different styles. Let's go into music. I love using examples that are closer to us. Let's go into music. On no given day, would you ever get, let me see, this Gen Z generation, I don't know which new young musicians are now good. Everybody seems to be singing rubbish. You never get Thames, for example, and make her sing Bedu with Burna Boy. You never get Thames. You people know Thames' style. And put her on a song so she can rap like Odumodu Black. Why? Because that's not her style. And if Thames got onto an Odumodu Black song with her soft, small voice, and just about with my kids and dad, I'm dressed in black, opportunity not be what you yourself, you won't enjoy that stuff. It won't make sense to you because they have got somebody that belongs to a different style and force them into a different style. Identify the style of who you are, how you deliver, what you talk about. You'll be hard pressed to find me moving around wearing kaftans, unless if I'm going for political meetings or something like that, because it's not my style. You'll most likely find me wearing face caps. That is my style. Am I saying you should do the exact same thing? No. Have your own. That style could be how you present yourself. That style could be how you speak. That style could be how you think and how you relate to people. There are people who have a very slower approach. There are people who are very loud and brash and aggressive. There are people who are extremely serious. And then there are people that they make jokes out of everything. Like me now, I talk a lot of nonsense throughout the day. But through that nonsense, there's usually a lot of sense. That's my style. So identify your skill, weave your story, and package your style very properly. Moving on, you need to know in this day and age, your online profile is your first interview. People have been hired and fired purely because of what's on their social media. Uber would never have existed if a guy didn't tweet and another guy responded to the tweet and then they joined hands and created Uber. It's not the only one. Many other multi-billion dollar businesses have started that way. There's so many of us, especially the younger ones, who love to go online and insult people and post all these incendiary things. And then on Monday, we go wear a suit, go find job. Believe me, those people are going to go and check your social media and they'll refuse to hire you. I one time refused to hire a candidate. She was qualified. She was brilliant, but she was one of those people that go onto any, those social justice warriors online that they will be retweeting, hey, you have to oppress your boss. I was like, yeah, I do not want this kind of energy in the company. It's just going to stress everybody. And I didn't hire her as a result of that, but she was qualified. But I've also had to hire somebody else purely because they had this Medium page where they constantly posted the research they were doing. I was like, this is a person that actually loves knowledge. They were not entirely qualified, but that made me make that decision. So you must know that whatever you're doing on, number one, it lives forever. It doesn't go away. If people want, Kevin Hart had the opportunity to host the Grammys. Was it the Grammys or was it the Oscars? One of the two. And he had been dreaming about this all his life. This is Kevin Hart, the multimillionaire. It's not like he needed the money, but he had been dreaming about hosting it for all of his life. Somebody went and dug up a homophobic tweet that he wrote, and it wasn't even like he was being homophobic, it was a joke that he wrote over 10 years ago and brought it up to the forefront and say, look at the people, you people want to go and host this thing. And it became a whole thing. They wanted to make him apologize. He refused to apologize because it's a joke that he made years ago. And he ended up not hosting it. And this is someone that's already rich and famous. How about me and you that are not rich and famous? These things live forever. You will not know what the thing you wrote online, how and when it's going to come and haunt you. So on your journey to building your personal brand, from today, watch what you share online. My God, I have seen so many people brought down by that. It's unbelievable. The internet is forever. Those servers, they are not in your bedroom. Those servers are somewhere else. That means you upload something. Even if you delete it, there's a chance someone may have downloaded it. For the people in the chat asking for the 3 pillars: skills, story, style. Your skills, your story, and your style. Those are the 3 pillars. So you must know that your online presence is your first job or opportunity interview. And you guys know this already now. Anytime someone is talking to you about somebody, one of the first 5 things you do is say, what's their Instagram? Because you want to go and look them up. So if you are doing it, what makes you think your employer or your investor is not going to do the same thing? Highly likely they will. Watch what you post online on your journey to creating your personal brand. And then you also have to decide where you even want your brand to associate. There are some people who don't use Facebook, especially the younger ones. Don't force yourself posting there. Find the community that you can share your personal brand with that would make sense. Train of thought is on TikTok and Instagram. That's it. I don't tweet. I've never tweeted because I don't like the platform. I don't care for it. I worked for Snapchat and I do not snap. Yet I built the engine that makes the filters that you guys use on Snapchat. I never snap because I don't like the platform. It bores me. I hate the overabundance of yellow. So you choose where you want your brand to live and you build a story there, right? Now, third, or is it fourth point that I want to pass across is learn to tell a good story, either about yourself or the message you want to convey. I'm not saying become a content creator and be telling stories on camera. No. But when you're posting stuff online, make sure that if somebody went through your social media page and showed it to you, think about it like if you died and went to heaven and God is showing you your social media timeline, that you yourself, you not look at it and go, now me do that one. Hi. Wow. That is crafting a story. That you can look back at the information you've been sharing, the messages you've been putting out, the jokes you've been making, etc., and go, that is pretty funny. That is pretty interesting. It's like, oh wow, I've grown so much. That's the story you want to learn to craft. And in everything that you're doing during that um during that process is inspire people. Inspire people. You don't inspire people by talking. That's why when people think me to be a motivational speaker, I'm insulted. Why? People are already motivated. If you have the energy to get onto a Zoom to listen to a motivational speaker, my guy, you're already motivated. Go and do the thing you should be doing. Stop watching the person speak. You're already motivated. We don't need any more motivation. So when you're inspiring people, it's not about speaking and trying to motivate people. When we're inspiring people, it is in our actions. It is in our convictions. When you genuinely go hard and do something against all odds, you will inspire people without saying a word. There's a man in India. His wife died because the road to the hospital was very, very, very far. And so they had to drive all the way around, and his wife died on the way to the hospital. He made it his mission to say, you know what? The government doesn't care about us, and they're not going to build a closer road to the hospital because there was a mountain in the middle. There was a big mountain or a big hill in the middle of the road. So the road had to go all the way around. So he said, if the government doesn't care, I'm going to use a pickaxe to build a road through this mountain until I get to the hospital. When he started, people laughed because what? You want to carve a road through a mountain? Okay, well, good luck. He did not stop. He kept at it every single day until that road, until people eventually realized this man is serious. So then they started joining him. And as they started joining him, they too made the work a lot easier and a lot faster. Today, that road exists. I forget the name of the man. Where's my phone? Hang on. I love giving references. Let me see. Indian man carved road through mountain. His name was Dethrash Manji. They nicknamed him the Mountain Man. So these are not stories. This is true. But he inspired people by his actions and by conviction. Inspiring people is not by cho, it's by the things you do. It's by your actions. So in whatever you're doing, as you're telling your story and crafting who you are online, make sure there are elements in there that will inspire somebody else. And one of the best ways to actually inspire people is by sharing your failures as much as your successes. Don't only post the things that have gone right, post the challenges as well. Because number one, someone in the crowd may be able to help you with that challenge, but also number two, it's going to inspire somebody else to actually take it on as well. Now, on your journey, and this has both to do with your personal branding and your actual life's journey. Consistency. Consistency. When we look at the brands we admire and you say, Coca-Cola is a big brand, though. It's not because they did an advert on TV that they're a big brand. They have been reinforcing who they are as Coca-Cola for almost 100 years now, if not over 100 years now. Any brand that you see and remember has been reminding people who they are and what they do constantly for years. Luck is one of the biggest determinants of success on earth, just luck. But consistency and staying active and doing the thing, even when it's boring, even when it sucks, is one of, if not the only way to improve your chances of getting lucky. Because if you quit, or if you're unpredictable, on Monday you post, on Tuesday you don't, and then you disappear for 6 weeks and come back and expect people to be there waiting for you. In this day and age, never. So you have to be consistent in your pursuit if you want any luck to come to you. It is the only magic bullet that I can find. Consistency. And the beauty about consistency is, number one, it helps you get better. Because the more you do something, the better you get at it. Bruce Lee said he doesn't fear a man that knows how, that has practiced 1,000 kicks. He fears a man that has practiced one kick 1,000 times. Because that man is really good at that one kick. And if he kicks you with it, is the end of story. So you gotta be consistent. This applies to you building your personal brand and in any other venture in life. The only time I will tell you that you should not be consistent or persistent is if you're chasing someone's son or daughter. That is the only time where you should take no for an answer. If someone's child tells you, I don't want, Oga, go. If someone's son tells you, sister, me and you, we don't work, please don't go and put them inside bottle and throw bottle inside ocean. Don't do any juju for any. Don't be consistent with anybody's child. That's the only time you shouldn't be consistent. Anything else, be persistent. No is not an answer at all. No is not an answer. Moving on. Now, how do you become consistent in what you do? I also want to touch on that. You need to develop unbreakable challenges, right? Set a challenge for yourself. There's a guy online called Salem King. He set a challenge to post a video every day for 101 days, and he did it. And I thought, holy crap, that's incredible. Then there was this other guy I saw, I think he did it for 8 years, every single day for 80. I can't even imagine how, but he has millions of followers and has millions of dollars. And you're like, okay, fair enough. But the question is, so if you gave me $1 million and I put it in some sort of fixed, whether it's a fixed deposit or a good, decent yield account, and I got 10% back in interest per year, I'll be getting $100,000 cash every year for the rest of my life. That means I'm set for life. That's generational money. People think generational wealth is $100 million. No, even a million can set it up. Now, if I need to be consistent for 5 years to make $1 million, is it not a worthy sacrifice to make? But I don't know why we are not consistent with ourselves for this short period of time, just so we can have a big payoff afterwards. If you are consistent for a given period of time, the results are going to benefit you for a lot longer than how long the pain is going to last. And when you jump away from the pain of growing and learning, etc., you actually don't even remember how it felt. You don't. I kid you not. You don't remember. I was super broke at 16 years old when I left my father's house. I made my first $1 million at 18 years old, between 18 and 19 years old. I kid you not, I do not remember how the broke felt just 2 years earlier. But I was sleeping on the floor in a ghetto, eating bread and dry tea every single day for like months. But when I made the money, I actually didn't remember the pain. And that's sort of the magic to it, is you put in the work and you're consistent and you grind. When you actually make it, you don't remember the pain. It almost doesn't matter at all. So you have to learn the art of setting challenges for yourself to push you to be consistent. Whatever those challenges are, maybe I will do this every day for the next 30 days. I will do that. And that builds the discipline and it also gives you evidence that you can do it. Moving on. Building online credibility. Let people believe you in whatever it is that you're doing. You don't have to be a speaker. There are people online that their whole thing is they do football tricks or whatever, and they have millions of followers and they have many brands paying them money. Right? Why are those millions of followers there and why are the brands paying them money? Because they are believable. Somebody doesn't watch it and think, it's not him kicking the ball. They can see the person kicking the ball. So in whatever you're doing, be credible. Let people believe what you're saying, either by showing it or showing what you have done. On any given day, if someone came to me and asks me about acquisitions, how acquisitions and business acquisitions happen in Nigeria, I would say, oh, I know about that. Why? Because I was working with DMA Capital when we acquired Nine Mobile and Keystone Bank. I know something about acquisitions. We also acquired Bachita Sugar in Kwara State. Those from Kwara State, you probably saw me the day they reopened Bachita Sugar and then the calamities that happened after. Right? I have the credibility to speak to it. Someone speaks about technology, I have the credibility to speak to it. Build that credibility. You don't have to be high and mighty for you to build the credibility. No, even from where you are, even as a student in what you're doing, you can still build credibility. And then another thing, you need to learn to be your mascot. You need to learn to cheer yourself up. You will not be supported when you're starting your journey. Most importantly, your friends and family will not support you when you're starting your journey. 9 times out of 10, they won't. That's just how it is. It's because in their mind, they're like, what if they fail? I don't want to associate myself with a future failure, so I will not share. They will only start associating with you after you actually don't need them. After you have begun succeeding, that's when they will say, it's our guy. Now our guy be that. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. They'll now start posting you. Now my bro, now my bro. Before then, nobody. So you have to learn to cheer yourself up in the dark moments where nobody's listening to you, where nobody cares, where you post something online that you've worked hard on, that you've thought about, and it only gets two views and one comment. And that comment is from some scammer saying, sign up to my Bitcoin class. So it's not even a useful comment. You have to learn to be your own mascot. You have to learn to cheer yourself up. And then you must learn to leverage small wins. If you succeed at something small, you must learn to make as much noise about it as possible. Right? Let me tell you guys how I don't know the average age on this call, but there's a musician in Nigeria called D'banj. D'banj had a song called Oliver Twist. Dun, 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 dun. Huge hit. That song is probably responsible for opening up Afrobeat as a genre to the American world. Of course, African music was already there before. Dibanj met Kanye West on a flight, his first class flight. And when he saw him, Dibanj wasn't necessarily the biggest in Nigeria. He had some really good song. Omo, you don't make me fall in love. He had some really good music. However, he wasn't the biggest. P Square was miles ahead. But he went to Kanye West. He wasn't shy. He went to him and said, "Hey, my name is Dibanj. I'm from Nigeria. I'm a big musician over there. Look at the numbers I've done. I have 1 million views. Check out my video." And Kanye West was like, "You know what? I'll sign you to my record label." Right? Why is that important? Why am I telling you that? Is he had a small win, which is he has succeeded in Uganda, in Nigeria. But when he met someone much bigger, he showed him this small win to inspire this person to put him onto an even bigger win. So when you get small victories, small successes at whatever degree, you must learn to both celebrate them and leverage them. Someone reached out to me 2 days ago on Instagram and said I had advised them on something they should do. They have a perfume brand or whatever. And she goes, "Can you believe I sold 20 bottles? Somebody bought 20 bottles off of me at once." I said, "Okay." She goes, "But now I don't know what to do next. I'm super happy. Thank you." And I said, "Well, where did they find you to buy these 20 bottles?" She's like, "Oh, my WhatsApp broadcast." I'm like, "Okay, you got to double down on that. Get a video," because she sent me a video of the 20 bottles that the guy bought. And then I'm like, "Get that video, put it back on the broadcast and tell people that, look, people are buying 20 of these things, or these things are about to finish. These things are the highest quality. Look how much people love them. They've taken 20 of them. Come and buy your own." Well, when she did that, I think this morning she texted me telling me she sold like 50 or something like that. I'm like, that is the point. It's a small win. Amplify it and make noise about it. It's so, so powerful. There are many people that are in positions of power that are not necessarily the smartest, but they know how to leverage and make noise of small wins. If you want, and this is something our Nigerian politicians have perfected. I've done meetings with many ministers, and I can tell you, any meeting I went to, there was some guy with a camera taking pictures of us. Why? Because the minister tomorrow morning is going to post on their Instagram and say, "I met these people and we are talking about investing how much money, blah, 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 blah in the country." It go look like say that they work. Does that mean I've made the investment? No, but they're amplifying that small win to show that, oh boy, progress is happening, which is going to attract more investors. Americans do this amazingly as well. America is a country of 300 million people. And yet, if you're the best at what you do in America, you're the best in the world. You could be the best chef if you cook for some random rich man in the US and he makes noise about you. Suddenly, you're the best chef in the world. And I'm like, have you people tried my mama's food? Be quiet. My mom cooks better past this American chef. However, my mama is not on social media telling people, right? So, by all means, amplify your wins so people know. Moving on very, very quickly. When you're building your personal brand, remember not to compare yourself to anybody. You can try and emulate, especially when you're starting out. If you're trying to be a speaker, for example, please go and watch my videos and see if you can learn something. But don't compare yourself to me, because my story is different from yours. My nature is different. My unique selling point is a lot different from yours. If you try and sound or be like me, train of thought, does that mean you're also going to wear these my Awolowo glasses in your videos? Does that mean you're also going to wear a face cap like my own? Does that mean that you're going to have the same accent that I have? No, because my accent is a blend of like 7 different languages. So you can't even, so be yourself. Don't compare. Number one, that's going to make you super, super depressed. But also, number two, it is going to reduce your own value in what you contribute to the world because you won't be yourself. Comparison is the thief of joy. And you always have to remember there is no such thing as a two-man coffin. You come alone, you go alone. Do not live your life comparing yourself to anybody. I know so many people that from the outside I thought, God damn, they have everything together. They're perfect. Then when I got to know them, I'm like, holy crap, these guys are losers. Jesus Christ, I'm better than these guys. But initially I thought they were everything. So don't compare yourself, because the people you're comparing yourself to probably have their own wahala that they are dealing with that you will never even consider wahala. So in your journey, as you're building your personal brand, that's why it's your personal brand. It's the good, it's if you want to see the power of being yourself and the power of copies, when we're buying clothes, you want to wear Adidas, real Adidas with the word Adidas. You don't want to wear Abibaz. Why? Because Abibaz is not Adidas, so it's not the brand. Similar to you, you want to be the first you, not a copy of somebody else. You see Lamine Yamal playing football, they say he's the next Messi. No, he's the first Lamine Yamal. Waiting be next Messi. Messi is Messi, Yamal is Yamal. Don't try and copy somebody else. Don't compare yourself. You can learn and borrow ideas. Perfect. That is actually the only way to grow. That's how we grow. We learn how to speak by copying how our parents speak. However, do not compare yourself to some other people, because you lead different lives, especially in the early stages. I've had people that DM me and they're like, bro, I want to get 100,000 views like you, man. What should I do? I'm like, let me tell you what I did that worked for me. It most likely is not going to work for you because our circumstances are different. But here it is. Then I would write them a long list. I've had people come to me and say, bro, you know so many things. You are so smart. What books do you read? And I'll take a picture of my bookshelf and I'll send it. If you read it and become like me, then it means me and you are very close on a genetic level. But chances are you won't. Because when I was reading that book, the message I got from it is probably different from what you got. And then moving on, if you succeed in building your online or your personal brand, whether that brand is an outward facing brand, i.e., you are an actual content creator, or it is just how you've presented yourself to the world, make sure that when you're making money from it, it doesn't come at a cost or at the cost of who you are. Many people start monetizing their Instagram, whatever, selling ads very early on. If they have 20,000 followers, they'll start advertising OPay. Last month, the past 2 months, Train of Thought has had over 12 million views and over 1 million likes and so forth. To this date, I haven't run a single ad for anybody. In fact, the only ad I've run is for the Kaiser Foundation conference that we are on right now, the social skills training. That's the only ad I have. Because any ads that I'm running have to align with what I'm saying and who I am and what my message is. You will not find me on Train of Thought advertising sports betting. Not be waiting I stand for. Even though sports betting will pay me good money. Right? So whatever it is that you're putting there, it should never be at the cost of who you are, whichever way you're making the money. Because the gold glows, but it is cold. Do not sell your crown for your soul. If money could take the pain, we wouldn't have billionaires committing suicide. We wouldn't have multimillionaires addicted to drugs that they can't pronounce just so they can go to sleep. Whatever it is that you decide to make your money out of your personal brand, make sure it is not at the cost of who you are. As a matter of fact, the video that I'm posting today talks about that subject because it's a proverb that I'm interpreting. That proverb says, it does not matter how dry the savannah gets, lion no dey chop grass. The lion will never eat grass just because it is dry, because it doesn't sacrifice what it is.
That's amazing. Thanks.
And as I close, finally, my final thought, because I think I'm out of time. Um, I want to give you guys one thing, and that is protecting your reputation. Your reputation is everything. You may think it doesn't matter now because you're young, but it's going to come back to bite you. Protect your reputation. Don't engage into stupid petty fights online just because you want to give a clap back. Do not make emotional decisions online, and don't post overly private things of yourself online. So thank you so much. And I think I can take any questions now if there are any. And I've been Hertz. You can search for me, Train of Thought on Instagram or TikTok. You'll find my face there doing this with a yellow background. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Falvan. That was really, really packed, very engaging. I can see the comment section was buzzing all through the session. So thank you once again for giving us this amazing nuggets. Please, can we put our hands together for Falvan? On the group, let's just indicate, put our hands together for him. I think even for me, I learned so much, and I think it's something I'm going to take away, which is amplify your wins for people to know. I think generally, when you do a lot of things, sometimes you get scared as well to put yourself out there to let people know what you do. And I think that's a very good takeaway from today's session, which is amplify your wins. People need to know what you do, because if you hide what you do, they can't recommend you for anything. If I say, I want you to do, I need somebody to do this for me. And then maybe someone gives me your handle and I check it and I don't see what you do. How will I know that you're good at this? So it's great to amplify your wins, let people know what you do. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure we all learned so much. And we have a few questions just on the group chat. So we're only taking 3 questions on the chat section. And just because of time. And so it's very educative, so many comments. So really, really, really insightful. I think there's a question that goes, one second, I'm just going to read it out. What guidelines does one use to start or build an online presence, even though one has dedication, but still finds it hard to build confidence and consistency? So please, Father, maybe you can help us with that.
Yes, you can only learn to cut a tree by cutting a tree. Like there's actually no shortcut. Just do the thing. I wish I had some crazy, Buddhist kind of answer, but the only way to build confidence is by doing the things you are afraid of. It is as simple as that. And then, but the only way to not fear the things you're afraid of is to not fear failing. We have a lot of fear for failure and shame, right? Just do the thing and be okay with the embarrassment, be okay with the failure, and eventually your own mind will get kind of used to your mind will see the problem finish. Right? You'll be like, what's it just is it not for people to laugh at me? No problem, let them laugh. And then you just keep doing it, and eventually you get that confidence, eventually you get that gravitas, and then you also get a lot better at the thing that you've been afraid to do. So do the thing without fear of failing. Embrace the failure, it's part of the process.
Thank you so much, Faldan, for that. I think we're just going to take another question who says, how do you craft your personal style and would love to be mentored? Oh, that's not a question. That's actually someone telling you that they want to be mentored by you. So great impression. But how do you craft your personal style? I think that's a very important question. Generally, when it comes to kind of putting yourself out there, marketing yourself, how do you craft your personal style? It's a great question.
Who are you? Your style lies in who you are. You don't craft it, it's who you are. I have a heavy hip hop background. I used to run around with a lot of hip hop clubs when I was younger. I used to break dance. I used to rap. Hence the face caps, because that's who I am. It's in who you are. You just now figure out a way to articulate yourself better and communicate better and simplify messages better. But your style is in already who you are. It doesn't come from somewhere else. It's in who you are. You just polish it up.
Thank you so much for that response. And I think the last question we're going to take today is, how does one differentiate between imposter syndrome and being underqualified? I think that's a very good question.
And the qualification has evidence. If you're not qualified, there's evidence you're not qualified. Right? If you go, there's what they call a bleep test in football. It's this test where they run while a thing is bleeping, whatever. It's so hard. The real footballers that we see on TV, they all pass it. Otherwise, you won't be allowed. They won't let you play because you're not fit. But the people that are not qualified, well, you don't ever get to play. Under qualification has evidence. If you can't do something, if you're not yet qualified for something, you yourself, either academic evidence or practical evidence, right? If they ask for a software engineer, if you're qualified as a software engineer, you yourself, you can write the software. If you can't write the software, it means you're not yet qualified. Go and learn and get the qualification. While imposter syndrome is an illusion of underqualification in the absence of evidence. You are already qualified, but you have an illusion in your mind that tells you are not, right? Even if it doesn't have evidence. So if you find yourself with imposter syndrome in any situation, the answer is simple: find evidence. If you have evidence that you are not qualified, go and get qualified. Simple as that. If you can't find the evidence, if you're seeing that, okay, I'm in this room because I did this, etc., well, it means you're qualified. So the imposter syndrome that you're feeling is an illusion. And we don't have the time for me to dive into the causes and everything, but that's a simple way to understand it. If you can find evidence that you're not qualified, then you're not qualified. If there is no evidence, then it's imposter syndrome.
We'll just take one more question before we call it a day. I think it's a very nice question I saw here. One second. By Alexander. What if you're a multi-potentialite and you want to promote that, maybe 4 or 5? How do you navigate that?
That's the world I come from. I can do so many things so very well, but I can tell you, push the thing that is the closest, dearest, and highest potential. That's what you push first. That's what you put out into the world first. And then you're known for other things, right? Leonardo da Vinci, a lot of us remember him for the Mona Lisa, but he was also an inventor. So many people hired him for inventions and not for him to paint. Cristiano Ronaldo is known for football, but he's also a model and a YouTuber. So the thing you're good at the most, and the one that comes the easiest to you, and the ones with the highest potential of either bringing returns or taking you far in life, is the one you should put at the forefront. But don't bury the others. Let people also know that you can do those other things. MI is an amazing footballer, but we know him mainly for the music. But he plays a lot of really good football. So does Odumodu Black, as a matter of fact, right? So get known for that first, because if you do all of them and talk about all of them at once, you're going to confuse people. People's attention spans are shorter than a housefly's attention span. You do too much and they will not know where to place you, and then they will just ignore you altogether. But have the thing you're good at, you're the best at with the highest potential at the front, and then others should be. So you be known as, oh, train of thought, the guy that talks about business and personal transformation on social media. That's what I'm known as the most. However, he also does blah, blah, blah. That's how you want to position it.
Thanks so much, Farzan, for that. That was very inspiring. I'm hoping we all learned so much from that. Please, can we put a round of applause for Farzan? That was a very, very, very remarkable session. Please, I want to see your comments, your chats. I want to see what you've learned as well today on the group chat. I want to see you make some noise. Please, can we clap? Send some smiley faces. Yes, yes, that's what I like to see. It's been a lovely session today. And as we come to the end of this wonderful session for today, I just have a few bits to let you all know for tomorrow. We have another power-packed session with some lovely speakers, which will be released later if it hasn't already been released. And they will be taking things like ethics, communication, and some more leadership secrets. I'm quite excited and I can't wait to join tomorrow's session and learn so much more. I hope you're excited. And a lovely turnout today. We hope to see all of you tomorrow. You need to come ready with all your questions, ready to deliver, ready to get all the answers that you require for this, for soft skills are very, very important every day in every walk of life. Thank you guys so much. And once again, my name is Chinonso Roberts, your lovely host for today. And we just want to say a powerful thank you to Construction Kaiser and M&E Kaiser for sponsoring and allowing us to be able to be here today. And obviously, we have to make regard to our CEO, Ibono Kaisabo, for giving us the vision for us to be here today as well. Thank you guys and have a lovely day.